everybody. I spent some time today doing an underpainting for a commission that I'm working on, and I want to give it some time to dry. And so I thought that my time could be well spent by doing a little research. I am interested in knowing my paint a little better, and today I thought it would be a good idea to explore my reds. So I'm very interested in working with a limited palette. It gives great color harmony to a painting when you do that. And of course, the most sort of extreme limited palette, well, maybe not the most extreme, but would be a combination of three primary colors: a red, a blue, a yellow, and then combined with white. But all the different combinations that you can think of all have some limitations. And so when you're thinking about the red that you want to use, your limitations end up being what you can do to make an orange and what you can do to make a violet. And so, we all know that color lies on a temperature spectrum. So we have our warm reds and we have our cool reds. And so if I'm using a warm red, I'm going to make a fabulous orange by combining it with yellow. But that same warm red, when I combine it with blue, is going to neutralize the violet. And so it's going to be a little bit of a duller color. And then the same thing is true of a cool red. So if I use something like alizarin, which goes towards the cooler side of the spectrum, it'll make a beautiful violet when I combine it with something like ultramarine blue. But it's going to make a little bit of a wimpy, desaturated orange. And so what I've been wondering is there a red that sits right in that sweet spot in the middle? Can I find something that lets me make a bold and vivid orange, but still a really pleasing and chromatic violet? So this is what I did. I have decided to do a little experiment here. This is a prior experiment, and I'm just kind of really looking at all of my tube colors to kind of explore them a little bit and see how they interact with white. But what I'm going to do here is I have all of these reds, and so I'm going to take each one of them and mix them with a little bit of ultramarine blue and a little bit of cadmium-free yellow light. And so, I'm choosing a blue that goes a little towards violet, and I'm choosing a yellow that sits a little bit in the middle and maybe a little more towards a warm color. And then I'll also tint with a little white. And I'll be back to you in a little while and show you my results. All right, I'm back. So I didn't use every single red in my bag there, but I did a nice variety. And here's what I found out. There are a lot of reds that make a pretty decent orange. This is Rembrandt Vermilion, and you can see that it makes a great bright orange because it's practically orange to start with. But boy, look at that violet. It's very, very dull. Here was one of the winners. This is Michael Harding Scarlet Lake. And the orange is not quite as vivid as with the vermilion, but it's pretty good. And look at that nice purple. It's pretty intense. Next, we have M. Graham Quinacridone Rose. And that was also pretty good, although I suspect that if I was using it by itself, it leans a lot towards pink rather than red. And it might be a little difficult to really go red with it, but that was okay too. This is Michael Harding Alizarin Claret. The purple is kind of nice. The orange is a little wimpy, a little muted and desaturated. No surprise here with the permanent reds from Rembrandt, which are warm colors. They make fantastic oranges and very dull and neutral violets. So, like I said, no surprises there. Next, we go to Michael Harding Napthal Red. And this was another one that I was pretty pleased with. Great orange, really, really vivid. And the purple, like if you compare to, say the vermilion, it's much more intense, and a much purer color. And so that would be another one that I would think about carrying with me if I was really gonna say go out plein air painting with a limited palette. Here's Utrecht Cadfree Red Medium. Again, no surprises, a strong orange, but a dull purple. Gamblin Paraline. I wasn't sure what this was going to do because I feel like when you look at the color in its pure state, it definitely looks a little cooler to me. But the orange I thought was very similar to the cadmium, and the purple was quite neutral, quite desaturated. So this really, the Paraline really acts like a warm color. As of course does Cadmium Red Medium, a very neutral purple with a nice strong orange. And then I tried Quinacridone Magenta, and the, not surprisingly, the orange is a little weak, but oh my goodness, look at that violet. I mean, that is just stunning. So, I think the moral of the story is if you want a really vivid violet, either use something like Dioxazine Purple right out of the tube or grab a magenta. But I think the winners overall it's probably Napthal Red, with maybe the runner-up being Scarlet Lake. Two not very commonly used colors, but they are very adaptable. So thanks for tuning in with me to geek out a little bit on color, and have a great day.